Daniel came before the king and told him what dream he had. Nebuchadnezzar had forgotten the dream, and Daniel told him what the dream was. And now Daniel wanted to give interpretation of the dream to King Nebuchadnezzar. So Daniel told the king that what he had dreamt would be the course of the Gentile kingdoms which would rule the land of Palestine and the people of Israel. That is what the dream was concerned with. So he said, O king, you saw the head of gold, and the head of gold is yourself, Nebuchadnezzar, the king who is all powerful and who has control over the rest of the world. No other kingdom is going to be as powerful as your kingdom. You rule over men, you can get anybody killed, and even over the birds and animals you have rulership. And at the time of creation we find that rulership had been given into the hands of man, and God appointed Nebuchadnezzar to fulfill what God had planned for man, ultimate authority. But Adam lost that rulership by rebelling against God and believing Satan's lies. So we find that the king, it actually happened as Daniel predicted to the king. We find that the Babylonian Empire was the most powerful empire, and it ruled from 606 BC to 539 BC. That was the Babylonian Empire. And then Daniel said, O king, you saw the arms and chests of silver. Now silver is a lesser metal than gold, and he said that the chest and the arms of silver represent the kingdom that is going to come after the Babylonian rule and be ruling over Palestine and Israel. And that, he says, it says stands for the Medo-Persian Empire. The Medes and the Persians together form the Medo-Persian Empire. So as compared to and the arms were two. One was Medo, one was Persian. Therefore, the arms were two, and the Medo-Persian Empire united together to form the next government. And that lasted from 539 BC to 331 BC. And then the king saw the belly and the thighs of bronze. That referred to a kingdom which would not be as powerful as either the Babylonian kingdom or the Medo-Persian Empire. So this talks about the Grecian Empire under Alexander the Great, who was a great warrior and conquered most of the known world at that time, and even entered North India and was in charge of the whole known earth. And his kingdom was existing from 331 BC to 146 BC. That is what he was trying to tell them. And after you will come another empire, that is the legs of iron. Iron stands for strength, and there were two legs, that is the Eastern and the Western Roman Empire, which came into being from 146 BC to 476 AD. So from BC we are moved to AD, that is after the death of Christ. So this empire had great strength, just like iron is stronger than bronze and silver and gold. Such great strength he had. And the Roman Empire, we find in history, it was stronger than any of the empires that had gone ahead. And it crushed all the other empires that had gone ahead. And it spread Roman culture and drew all people to itself. And then the feet of that statue were of iron and clay. So the Roman Empire that started as iron, it soon degenerated into iron mixed with clay. So even if you melt the iron and put clay in it and cool it down, we find that iron and clay, they do not mix, they remain separate. And therefore, we say that it can be easily broken. Such a feet can easily be broken. It has the strength of iron and the brittleness of clay, so that it can be easily broken, and it is a weak empire. So in actual fact, we see that the Roman Empire, it soon became a divided kingdom, and although it had conquered many nations, we find in history that there was an Eastern and a Western Roman Empire. And the feet that were partly brittle and partly strong could not unite the Roman people together. And as it would have it, the people in Rome soon became a mixture and were not united. The masses of normal people entered the government, and as the Roman Empire deteriorated, it was the rule of the mob. And soon this rule of the mob developed into a democratic reign, which is existing today in the world. We have democracy, which came out of the Roman Empire and the mob rule of the Roman Empire. So we find that this democratic rule is not permanent. It's as strong, it's a government of the people, by the people, for the people. It's very strong, but it's very brittle, it's very weak also, because a motion of no confidence upon the government can shatter the government. This we find that the government of iron and clay feet mixed, or the democratic government, has strength but is brittle. It can be toppled at any time, as we know from our own government, the government of India. So this is the dream. You had King Nebuchadnezzar, and this is the meaning. And then finally, Nebuchadnezzar saw a huge rock cut out of the mountain without any hands. We'll see what that huge rock is the next time.